After 2 minutes, I will not allow anybody in this lecture. I will start my lecture. When I will ask give the present, then and then only add your roll numbers in the chat box. Otherwise, you are adding your roll numbers and you will be left from this lecture. And how can I manage all these roll numbers as you are presenting? When I will ask then and then only add your roll numbers in the chat box. Otherwise, I will not consider this presenting. Within 1 minute, we will start our lecture. Am I audible? Hello, am I audible? Okay. So we have seen total 6 programs for each one. For synchronized method, one is with the help of a simple way and one is with the help of an anonymous method. For each one we have seen such a type of a scenario. Now we will move towards deadlock, which is one of the part before moving towards the inter-thread communication. Okay, so before moving towards cooperation, that is the inter-thread communication in Java, we will see first what is meant by deadlock. So it will be very easy for you to find out the inter-thread communication process. So this is the structure of a deadlock. Means first thread is depend on the second thread and second thread is depend on the first thread. Means first is waiting for second and second is waiting for first. It means both are in waiting condition, so nobody's work has get completed. So deadlock is nothing but it is a part of a multi-threading. It can occur in a situation when a thread is waiting for another object lock that is acquired by another thread and second thread is waiting, this one, second thread is waiting for an object lock that is acquired by the first thread. So both are depend on each other. Since both threads are waiting for each other, both threads are waiting for each other to release their locks. After 3 minutes, I will not add anybody in this lecture. Okay. This is the last warning from my side. This is 1 hour lecture and still you are joining. Since both threads are waiting for each other to release the lock, the condition is called as the deadlock. Means first thread waiting for this release the lock of second thread so it can access the properties which are present in the second thread, and second thread is simultaneously depend on the first thread to access its properties to waiting for its lock unlock process. Okay, so this situation is called as the deadlock. We have to manage this deadlock, otherwise no resource will be get free to complete its work. So according to that, we can see one example. That example is already available on the net, so it will be very easy for you to understand it, because you can run the same program on the online editor. That's why I have taken the same program which is available online, so you can implement from your any online editor. There is no necessity to you must have JDK in your laptop. Those who are not having laptop, they can also run this program. That's why I have taken same program. Now see what I have done. I have considered one resource having name as a Ratan Jaswal and second one is a Vimal Jaswal. So both resources are present. Okay. Then first thread. First I have created one thread having name as a T1. Then this is the synchronized way. We have seen in previous lecture synchronized method, synchronized block, and third one is a static synchronization. Out of this is the block process. Okay, so whenever we are mentioning any synchronized block, at that time all those resources are provided to the that block. Now see here, for resource one block is get allocated. That's why thread is get, that resource is get locked for that time being. Okay, it means in first block resource one is get locked, and in second block second resources get locked. So both are get locked in different blocks. Now see in the yes.
Ma'am, sorry for the interruption, but your screen is not visible.
Okay, 1 minute. Thank you, Fiza. Now is it visible?
Yeah, ma'am, it's visible. You can continue.
Okay. Up to which part you are able to see? Hello. Up to which part you are able to see it? Or should I repeat that program once again?
Yeah, ma'am, repeat it once again.
Okay. 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 See here. This is the resource one and this is the resource two. Okay. For each one we are allocating separate resources. But according to threading concept, whenever we are assigning some resources to one thread, when its work is get completed, then and then only it will unlock its resources. So according to that rule, whenever we are assigning resources to one block, this is the synchronized block. We have seen three mutual exclusion subtypes. One is the synchronized method, second one is the synchronized block, and third one is the static synchronization. Out of this is the synchronized block. We have passed here one message as a locked resource one. And in same way, we have designed resources for the second one also. Now this is totally for the deadlock situation. Whenever both the resources having blocks, it may happen that there may be a situation of deadlock. So now we have created a second thread. In second thread also, first first one, in first synchronized block, we have assigned a second resource, and in second block, we have assigned first resource. Okay, have you understood the difference? In first thread, we have firstly assigned resource 1 to first synchronized block, and in second thread, we have assigned second resource as a first synchronized block. Only we have changed its sequence. Now, we will start both the threads. Now check what is your answer. This program is based on the deadlock. Okay. Now its answer is lock resource 1 and lock resource 2. Because at a time both resources are get started due to sequence. Here you can see here resource 1 is started for thread 1 and resource 2 is started for thread 2. See here. Okay. So according to that, both resources are started simultaneously. So first resource cannot access the resource 1 from the second thread, and resource 2 cannot access the data from the first thread. So simultaneously both are waiting for each other. So such a condition is called as the deadlock. Okay, for showing you how deadlock will happen, that's why this condition has made over here. Okay, so simultaneously both threads are started, but resource 1 require properties from the second one. That's why this deadlock will get generated over here. Have you understood? This is very easy part to understand it, because first resource waiting for the first resource from second thread. That's why that situation is happened. Otherwise, both thread has started with resource 1. There is no necessity to. I will show it. Okay, I will replace it by resource 1, and here also by resource 2. Means both will start with resource 1 only. Now check what will happen. Understood? Means both the threads has completed its work properly. There is no necessity to wait for each other, because both threads started with resource 1 and both threads again started with resource 2. So there is no necessity to wait for each other. Now I will again replace it by first one. Now deadlock situation is there. Okay, thread 2 and thread 1 waiting for each other. That's why this situation is happening. Okay, so I will zoom it so you can take it screenshot. One minute, I will remove some spaces. Now you can take screenshot. Okay, remember that there are some brackets are there that will not be covered from here. Okay, finished. Next one, inter-thread communication. Okay, next one is the inter-thread communication. It is also called as the cooperation. It is all about allowing synchronized threads to communicate with each other. Inter-thread running in its critical section and another thread is allowed enter or lock in the same critical section to be executed. It is implemented by the methods like wait, notify and notify all. So by using all these methods we can find out where, which thread is in which position. Now suppose we have considered the wait method. What happens with wait? It causes current thread to release the lock and wait until either another thread invokes the notify method or the notify all method for this object or a specified amount of time has elapsed. It is the working of a wait method. I will repeat it again. Wait method mainly causes current thread to release the lock and wait until either another thread invokes the notify method or the notify all method for this object or a specified amount of time has elapsed. Now, whenever wait method is in running condition, the current thread must own the object's monitor, so it must be called from the synchronized method only, otherwise it will throw an exception. Okay. After that, to implement it, we need a syntax like it must be public, final, and void. Whenever we are dealing with notify method, it must be public, final, and void. And again, notify method is based on the wait method. It wake up notify method. I'm talking about notify method. Wake up a single thread that is waiting on this object monitor. If any thread are waiting of this object, one of them is chosen to be awake. The choice is arbitrary and occurs at the discrimination of the implementation. Okay. And whenever you are dealing with the notify all, it means wake up all the threads that are waiting for this object's monitor. Notify means particular thread and notify all means all those threads which are present in that program are get wake-ups. Okay. So you may have completed this part in the OS. If not, you can suggest me. I will show you how it get implemented. But it may be completed in the OS because right now OS is also going on, so it is get completed in that. So I will show you one example so you can understand it very easily. Okay. So first understand this is inter-process communication. Okay, so I have created one class that is the customer having one variable amount. Now this is dealing with the bank like conversation. So first method is withdraw. Now we are dealing with the inter-process communication. So process means method must be synchronized method. That's why we have started with synchronized. Okay, then what how much amount we want to withdraw we can print over here. Then if amount is less than given, then less balance is waiting because we must have to keep some amount as our deposit. After that, if amount is and whenever amount is get withdrawn, we have to minus that amount from our current amount. Okay, and after that, whenever we want to deposit it, we have to add whatever amount is deposited in our account. And after completion of this process, we have to notify it. Means whatever amount is present in our account must be get notified. For that, one thread is get utilized, notify. Okay, right now we have seen what is meant by notify. It wake up the particular thread. Now we will move towards main method. Means the program which is holding the main method. So first take a screenshot so I can move towards the main method. Okay, now I will move towards the main method. In test class, I have created main method, and in that I have created the object of a customer class. So this is the customer class. Now I want to start the. Am I audible? Hello? Because I have disconnected, that's why I'm asking. Am I audible?
Yeah, ma'am, you are audible.
Hello, students. Am I audible? Am I audible now? Because I have lost my connection, that's why I'm asking. Okay, thank you. Okay, now see, in main method, what I have done, I have created object of a customer class, and now I want to start thread for both. First, I want to withdraw some amount, and after that, I want to deposit some amount. Now, this is another process to start the thread. Previously, what we are doing, we are creating one thread, like name as a customer. Suppose T1 is equal to new customer, and here we are extending the thread class. So you can start the thread with the help of a new keyword also. Okay, this is one part of a creation of a object of a thread. Okay, in that run method we have started the withdraw method. This withdraw method is present in the customer class, and simultaneously we have started that thread. Okay, so this is the one more method to create and start the thread directly. Okay, now see what will happen. I will execute this program. Okay, going to withdraw less balance waiting for deposit, because previously there is, you can see here only 10,000 is there, and now we are withdrawing the 15,000, so it is generating the less balance as a message. Now suppose I have written here only 5,000, then it will allow us to withdraw the amount. Okay, going to withdraw completed. You can mention the amount also over here. You need to add here amount variable, that values get printed on the console. Okay, so banking application you can design with the help of a multi-threading console. So likewise you can create your own applications also. Whenever you will need to provide security, at that time you must use the thread concept, so you must have the security with you. Okay, so main purpose of this is what? To provide the secureness. Now this is totally regarding the inter-process communication, that is the coordination. Okay, so next part is related to interruption of a thread. So you can take it screenshot. So I can move towards the interruption of a thread. This is the last point from multi-threading. After that, in the same chapter, networking part is also added. So we will start that networking part in the next lecture. Only we will cover the interruption of a thread, and we will stop here after conducting your attendance. Have you taken its screenshot? Okay. Now I will move towards the interruption of a thread. What is meant by interruption? It means to break or to disturb that process. Here we are dealing with the thread to disturb that thread. If any thread is sleeping or waiting state, that is the sleep or wait method is invoked. Calling the interrupt method on the thread breaks out the sleeping or waiting state, throwing interrupted exception. If the thread is not in the sleeping or waiting state, calling the interrupt method performs normal behavior and doesn't interrupt the thread but sets the interrupt flag as a true. So here also different methods are there to provide the interrupting a thread. One of this method is nothing but the interrupt one. You can see here. This is the one method. Likewise, two methods are there. Boolean interrupted means we can set the flag, and another one is interrupted. It is also Boolean one because here also we are finding out answer in the format of true and false. So first one we will see interrupt method. Here you can see interrupt method. Whenever we are using the interrupt method in our program, after interrupting the thread, we are propagating it so it will stop working. If don't want to stop the thread, we can handle it where sleep or wait method is invoked. So both the ways are allowed. Now see here, in try block I have written how much time it will be in sleep mode, and you can provide here your own task also, your task name also, and whenever interrupt method is called, if any exception occur, it will generate the exception, interrupted exception. Okay, and this is nothing but the runtime exception. We have already seen two types of exceptions are there, compile time and runtime. So out of that, this is the runtime exception. Now I will create the object of a thread over here and I will start it. And after starting that thread, I will interrupt that thread because whenever that thread is in sleeping mode, at that time it may be get interrupted and it may give the exception. Okay, so you can see its output as, I will run it. See here, exception in thread 0, runtime exception because sleep interrupted of thread 1. Okay, we have provided here sleep method and we want to wake up that thread. But due to that sleep method, we cannot do such a type of a task. So it has generated an exception, that is the thread interrupted. Okay, now see here, I will give comment over here. Okay, now see here, error will be get generated. Understood? Because due to sleep method we have added here, there is no any condition in the try block, so there is no necessity to provide the try catch block. Okay, now see here, I will remove timing as a 10. See here, I have minimized its timing. Okay, still it has generated exception because 10 millisecond is not a less timing according to that thread. That's why that exception has generated. Okay, so if any other task over here, then there is no necessity to generate this exception. But whenever sleep method is there or wait method is there, at that time this exception is get generated. Still we are interrupting that thread. Okay. So you can take it screenshot. Okay. So we have seen with the help of a interrupt method. Second way is interrupting a thread that doesn't stop its working. Okay. For that, this part is one and the same. Okay. Exception is there. After that, thread is in run. We have added one statement as thread is in running, and we have started it and we have interrupted it. We have not used the exception because after try catch block there is some data which is present in the run method. So in that case, the thread is get interrupted and it will generate some data. You can see in run method we have written thread is run. Okay, so first interruption is occurred because we have stopped or we have disturbed that thread which is in sleeping mode. But after that, there is a data is also present. We want to print on the console. So whatever data is present in this method that get generated on the console. Okay, so this is one example of interrupting a thread that doesn't stop its working. Another one is example of interrupting thread that behaves normally. Right now it is behaving normally, but still it is interrupting this thread. Now see third program. This is the normal method. We have not added anything over here. Means there is no sleep method. So still we have added interrupt method, but that thread is not get interrupted because it is not having sleep method. You can see here. It has executed its output normal. Okay. And another one is we have seen that is interrupted method. Okay. I will show it in same program only. Here we are printing that value. Whatever value we are generating, we are printing over here. Okay. So first of all, take it screenshot because I want to change some values from this program. So first take it screenshot so I can make a change over here. Okay. So I will do changes in the same program only because I want to add here some input. We are going to see now what is meant by is interrupted like a process. If thread is get interrupted, okay, if thread is get interrupted, then print one statement as interrupted thread. Else normal thread. Okay, else normal thread. Now I will create here one more thread. Enter th3 t2 is equal to new Now see what I am doing. First T1 has started, T1 has interrupted also. Then T2 dot start. And after that T2 has started. Okay, now see it out. Understood? Now you can see first thread is get interrupted because here we have used the interrupt method, but second thread has not any problem, so it has executed normally. Understood? Okay, so this is the, now see, here we have used the for loop. For first one, interruption is there. For second one, means whenever I is equal to 1, at that time this loop is get executed. And when I value is get incremented, um, at that time there is no interruption, so it has executed as a normal thread. And after that for second thread there are no any interruptions, so it has implemented for both the times as a thread, normal thread. Understood? So these are the different ways to interruption of a thread. So here we have completed our multi-threading concept. In next lecture we will start the Java networking, which is the part of our 5th chapter. Okay, so you can take it screenshot so I can conduct your attendance. Okay. From A division, roll number 1 to 20, mention your roll numbers in the chat box. Roll number 1 to 20, A division. One to 20 over. A division 21 to 40. (21 to 40). Don't repeat roll numbers. 21 to 40. Next, 41 to 60. (41 to 60). Finished? 61 to 70. A division. (61 to 70). Okay, from A division, if anybody has remained to give present due to network issue, right now mention it so I can start the B division.
18, ma'am.
Okay. B division students, roll number 1 to 20.
Present, ma'am.
Can you mention in the chat box? Okay.
Ma'am, roll number A34.
Don't repeat the roll numbers. Only add from roll number 1 to 20. Then roll number 21 to 40 from B division. (21 to 40). Then 41 to 60, B division. 41 to 60. 61 to 80. Roll number 61 to 80. If anybody has remained to give the presentee, mention in the chat box from both the divisions. If anybody has remained. If you have already entered, then don't write here some messages. Otherwise, you are repeating for 3 to 4 times. I know it. Okay, all are over. So in next lecture, we will start the Java networking. For that, I will mostly prefer the Notepad because we need a different programs at a time. So on the console of Eclipse, you may be get confused. So I will mostly prefer the Notepad only, like we are doing for the first chapters. Okay. So we will stop here and take care all of you.